Welcome back.
You just said, Jim, I like you more than I like John Mulaney.
I did whisper that to you.
And I thought that was special.
That was a nice thing to tell you.
That was a nice adjustment there.
I do want to ask this right off the bat. We talked last time you were here about your wonderful wife, Jeannie, had a brain tumor. She is doing better.
She is doing great. Once they remove a tumor the size of a pear from your head, you're not, back to 100%. But she's great. She's taking kids to school. She's writing a book about it. She's doing great.
You obviously you told jokes about it.
Yes.
How has that been? Has that been a cathartic experience, being able to process it that way?
It's amazing. I mean, my wife and I, we write everything together, and to do those jokes, I was kind of surprised because initially I was like, all right, I'm talking about my wife going through this medical emergency. But what I realized is that as I toured, everyone's spent those 2 odd weeks in a hospital. We don't want to live in that memory, but we identify with that memory. So, it was great. It was very cathartic.
This is very exciting because outside of stand-up, you also are an actor, a wonderful one by my count, and you have 3 films that are going to be premiering at Sundance.
I am like the Parker Posey.
Wow.
Of Sundance.
You're the new Parker Posey.
What is unique about these films? It's like I normally don't look like this. I gained 80 pounds for each of those films.
So it just worked out that all 3 roles asked you to gain 80 pounds.
It's an amazing coincidence. It's an amazing coincidence. They like in the script, they're like very overweight, super hot guy. And it worked out. No, but it is so exciting to, because I've been acting in stuff for 25, 30 years. And so to have, Sundance is the be-all, thing. So to go there with 3 films is amazing. And these are great films, so I'm excited.
And you got to work with some really great actors.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like Olivia Colman, Walton Goggins, Viola Davis, Allison Janney. It's
and
amazing.
They were all asked to stay at their current weights?
They were all asked to stay. They were like, look, you guys focus on the lines. Jim can do multiple things. But I could list, there's so many amazing actors. Marin Ireland, who is in an off-Broadway show. I do a film with her, and there's an amazing, I could list every actor, and I probably should, but I won't.
Congratulations on that. That's very exciting. You've talked about, give it up.
Thank you. You can gain this weight, too. You can gain this weight if you try. If you have a commitment.
We've talked about this as well, and I look forward to my kids being old enough for this to be an option, but you have been touring internationally and using it as an opportunity to bring all 5 of your children with you on vacations.
Well, jet lag is fun, but jet lag with a 6-year-old with jet lag is better.
Yeah.
No, I love, touring, doing stand-up. We've done many shows together, and so, like, doing these international shows, they're an amazing opportunity. And also, it's, so, like, at Thanksgiving, I was in Athens. I brought my kids to the Parthenon. I'm not Greek. I know I look Greek, but I'm not. And so we tooled around Athens a little bit, and then I did a show, and it's amazing.
And you took a Greek dance class with your children?
We took a Greek dance. I thought it was going to be like in a restaurant, and my kids were going to dance, and I was going to eat a gyro, But we showed up, and it was like in a dance studio, and we did, some of these dances, and then they said, all right, now let's get in the traditional Greek outfits. And I was like, okay. And so
it's fantastic.
Yes.
I will say, even if you took this photo in color, I feel like it would come out in black and white.
It was so amazing because I know I look like a great dancer, but I'm not. And I was resistant, but it was an amazing experience to do with your kids.
And are your children at the age now where they're laughing at you being a bad dancer?
Oh, they laugh at me just about everything. But there is something about seeing me dance that bad where they're like, oh, you're really not good at this. Do you know what I mean? Like, are you a good dancer?
No.
Because, like in the acting and improv and stuff, like there's moments where you'll see you're like, oh, wow, you can't dance at all. And I'm one of those people that can't.
You also went to South Africa?
Went to South Africa.
How was that?
Amazing. We went on a safari which is essentially just a fancy word for animal stalking. That's all you do. You just kind of like follow around animals, and it's a good thing they can't turn you into the police, because they'd be like, that bald guy over there was following me for 2 hours. And then when I woke up, he was taking pictures of me and my family, and we were naked. You know, it's a very strange thing.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating. It's hard to articulate because you sit there and it is the circle of life. So, like, you'll sometimes see an animal kill another animal, and intellectually you think, oh, I don't want to see that. But when you're in the moment, you're like, get him. Even my 9-year-old daughter, who loves animals, draws pictures of kittens all the time. She's like, get him, get him. It was amazing.